by 10 percentage. What is the resultant change in the percentage, guys? So this question you're already aware of, okay, but we'll do it using the successive percentage formula. So as you know, the formula is a plus b plus ab divided by 100. This 100 that you see here is only for the third term. For those of you who don't remember it, this 100 is only for the third term. By 100 is not present in the first and the second term. Now, to take this forward, what we do is we find the values of A and B. Now, because we are decreasing it by 10 percentage and increasing it by 10 percentage, A takes the value minus 10. As I told you, negative sign indicates that there is a decrease. Okay, this is not increase. The negative sign indicates there is a decrease. Now, what does the value of B? It is plus 10, and the positive sign indicates that there is an increase. So, the positive sign indicates there is an increase. Okay, anyway, now because you got in the value of a and b, now it is very easy to just substitute the values. In the previous problem, a was plus 10 and b was minus 10, right, guys? Yes, because we increased and then decreased. Okay, so first came a and then came b. For increase we took plus 10, for decrease we took minus 10. Here we take minus 10 first because we are decreasing first and then increasing. So successive means it is doing it two times, right? Continuously. So continuously, so for first thing is decrease. So it is wrongly printed here, it is decrease. Here it is increase. Now apply the formula, you'll get the same answer, which is minus 1. Again, this minus, what does this minus tell you? The minus tells you there is a decrease of 1 percentage. Now, this is one important application that you see, that you can think of for successive percentage change formula. Successive percentage change formula is not just applied in the previous case. There are other cases or other places where you can apply it. For example, just read this. It says successive formula can also be used when the number for which the percentage increase and percentage decrease is applied. In the previous slide it was 100, you assumed it to be 100, right? 100, you increased 10 percentage of 100 and then decreased that by 10 percentage, right? So the number that was on which the percentage changes were applied or was 100. Okay, in the previous examples it was 100. Okay, now that number could be written as a product of two or more numbers. Okay, by that what I mean is, so I'm going back to the same example, guys. A number is decreased by 10 percentage and then increased by 10 percentage. What is the resultant change in percentage? So what, how do you know? Let us assume you took, I told you, right, 100. Yes, we took this number 100 as a, we assumed that to be the number and applied this percentage change. So I decreased it by 10 percentage and I got 90. Now what did I do? I increased this 90 by 10 percentage and I got 99. So we said 100 has changed to 99, and therefore there is a negative 1 or a decrease of 1 percentage is available. Got, okay, anyway. Now this is one way of applying. So this is where you apply this. This is the situation where you apply successive percentage formula. Okay, this is one situation where you apply it, right? Now there is one more situation where you can apply it. Okay, and that is when you have it like this. 100 can be expressed as 10 into 10. Yes, so this 10 can take an increase of 10 percentage and this 10 will take a decrease of 10 percentage. See, I'm splitting 100 and applying those percentages to the product of 100. Okay, so the product of 100 here is 10 and 10, 10 into 10, and I am applying those percentages to each of those components of product separately. I am applying 10 percentage decrease to this 10 and applying 10 percentage decrease to this 10. Even then it will work. See, wow, if you decrease 10 by 10 percentage, what will happen? It will become 9, right? Then if you increase 10 by 10 percentage, it will become 11. What is 9 into 11? 99. Yes, so we got 99, guys. Yes, 99 was the answer that we got here, right? Here we got 99, remember? Yes, so you can do it, or you can write 100 as 25 into 4. 25 into 4 is also 100, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. Increase one number by 10 percentage, which is 4, and increase the other decrease the other number by 10 percentage, which is 25. Now, if you decrease 25 by 10 percentage, you will get 22.5. If you increase 4 by 10 percentage, you will get 4.4. Guys, 22.5 into 4.4 is nothing but 99. You get the same answer, 99. Now 100 can be expressed just 25 into 2 into 2, right? 4 can be written as 2 into 2. Now I'm applying percentage decrease to 25 and percentage increase to 2. This way also I should get the same answer. Okay, so 22, this becomes 22.5, this becomes 2.2, and the 2 remains the same. Now guys, 22.5 into 2.2 into 2 is again nothing but 99. 100 can be expressed as 5 into 5 into 2 into 2. Now here I am applying the percentage increase to 5 and percentage decrease to 5. So it will become 4.5 into 5.5 into 2 into 2, guys, which again gives you the value of 99. All these values are 99. Okay, so what does it say? You have a number, you can write it in product form, okay, or you can write its factors, whatever you name it, okay, factors or product form. You can apply the same percentage and you'll get the same answer. Okay, you can apply the percentage increase and percentage decrease to this number as a whole or as a product of two other numbers. So 100 can be written as 10 into 10, right? So this product, if you apply the percentage, you will get the same answer. Okay, this product, you get the same answer. This product, apply percentage increase and decrease, you will get the same answer. So 100, if expressed as a product of 2 or 3 or 4 numbers, when applied with the same percentage changes, will give you the same answer. Okay. Now, why is this important? I'll tell you why this is important, because this can be used in many real life problems. Okay, just keep this thing in mind. We'll take this forward. Now, what we saw, what we can do. Next, what we are going to see, what we cannot do. Okay, so what you cannot do is successive formula cannot be used when the number for which percent increase and percent decrease is applied for is written as a sum of two or more numbers. Okay, now you can write it as product of two or more numbers and apply the percentage change, it will work. Okay, but you cannot write as sum of two or more numbers and apply the percentage change, it won't work. You won't get the same answer. Let's see. So we take the same example. Okay, now 100 I am writing it as 50 plus 50. Yes, 50 plus 50 will give you 100, right? Now we'll see if we can apply the percentages and get the same answer. We should get 99. Remember, we should get 99. Okay, now 150 is decreased by 10 percentage and the other 50 is increased by 10 percentage. You decrease this by 10 percent, you get 45. You increase that by 10 percent, you get 55. Now what is 45 plus 55, guys? Definitely not 99. Okay, so you're not getting the same answer. Now it is each time you won't even get the same answer. Okay, it is not like you will get the same 100 for all sums. Okay, any type of sum, it is not that you will get the same 100. See, let us take a closer look. If I write 100 as 70 plus 30, 100 here is written as 70 plus 30. Now what happens again is you decrease 70 by 10 percentage, increase 30 by 10 percentage, because you can do this any which way. You can increase 70 by 10 percentage or decrease 30 by 10 percentage. You can do the opposite also, still it will not work. Okay, so decrease 70 by 10 percentage, you get 63. Increase 30 by 10 percentage, you will get 33. What is 63 plus 33, guys? It is definitely not 99 or definitely not 100. Okay, you're not getting not even the same answer. Look, it is two different answers. Okay, now 100 again can be represented as 60 plus 40. Okay, so I'm just giving you another way of representing 100. Now I will decrease 60 by 10 percentage and 40 by 10%. Increase 40 by 10 percentage. So 60 10 percentage decrease will give you 54, and 40 10 percentage increase will give you 44. You add them both, you'll get 98. You can see you're getting three different answers for three different sums. Okay, even though they all add up to 100, you cannot use this successive percentage formula when a number is expressed as a sum of two or more numbers. It can be applied when a number is expressed as a product of two or more numbers. Successive change formula can be applied when a number is expressed as a product of two or more numbers, but it cannot be applied when a number is expressed as a sum of two or more numbers. And right in front of your screen is the proof for it. Given the prices of two fans P and Q, which seems to be equal, price of fan P is increased by 25 percentage and fan Q is decreased by 25 percentage. What is the resultant percentage change in the total price of both fans? Okay, guys. Now, some of you might look at this question, and the first thing that will come up to your that will pop up in your mind is that the answer is definitely not zero, right? Because in the previous slides we've seen similar questions like this, and we've seen the answer is not zero. You increase something by 25 percentage and decrease it by 25 percentage, we think the answer is zero, but you'll never get the answer to be zero. But if that thought comes up in your mind, what you do is stay with that thought. Okay, so don't reject it. You may be right. Okay, and I'll also tell you the reason why you might be right. See, successive percentage change formula cannot be applied because the percentage increase and decrease are applied to two different entities, fan P and fan Q. Or in other words, guys, here the percentage increase or decrease are applied to sum of two numbers. What are the sum of two numbers? Let us assume the price of fan P and Q. Okay, so what they want is the resultant change, the total price of both fans. So before applying the percentage, there will be a total price of P and Q. After you apply the percentage, again there will be a total price of P and Q. Now you compare them both and see if there is any change. That is what they are asking you to do. So before you apply the percentage change, okay, 25 percentage increase and 25 percentage decrease, there will be a total price, right, for the fan P and Q. After you apply the percentage change, there will be again a total price or sum of prices of fan P and fan Q. Now, they both must, we have to compare them and find out what the change in total price of both fans. Okay. Now, assume again, because we've not given numbers, we've not given what the initial price was, we assume it to be 100. So initially, fan P's price is 100. Okay, fan P Q's price is 100, right? So sum of fan P and fan Q before percentage change, guys, is 100 plus 100, 200. Yes, before you applied any percentage change, you got the sum to be 200. Now let's apply the percentage change. Now what do they say? Fan P is increased by 25 percentage. So what do I do? If that is P, I increase it by 25 percentage. See, they are increasing it by 25 percentage. Because both the fans P and Q are equal. Okay, their price are equal. Okay, so if fan P is 100, fan Q also will be 100, but fan Q is decreased by 25 percentage. Guys, can you see now you are applying the percentage changes to sum of numbers. Okay, you are applying the percentage change to 200, but 200 here is written as what? 100 plus 100. I told you only when it is expressed as product of two numbers you can apply the successive percentage change. Here sum of two numbers, so you cannot apply the successive percentage change. Okay, so what do? You just do it, do normal processing. What is 100 if you reduce it by 25%? What will happen? So sum of and P and Q after percentage changes, reduce 100 by 25%. What do you do? What do you get? 75, 125. Sorry, increase 100 by 125 percentage. Okay, it is not reduce. Increase 100 by 25 percentage. You get 125, right, base? So plus you decrease 100 by 25 percentage. You get 75. Now what is the sum? 200. Now is there any change before and after? There is no change, right? Guys, this basically came out because of this plus sign. Okay, if you are wondering why in previous problem we got a negative or positive change, but here we are not getting any change. For increase and decrease 25%, we are getting no change. Okay, the reason has to do with the plus sign. Okay, had you applied successive discount formula here, you would have got again something negative something. Okay, but you didn't do that, right? I think negative 0.25 something you would have got 0.25, no, sorry, 2.5. Okay, anyway, but you did not get it because of this plus sign. So be careful about how the number is expressed. If it is expressed as a sum, you do the normal method. If it is expressed as product, you do the successive change method. In an election between two candidates, A and B, A won over B with 10% of the qualified votes. What is the percentage of total votes secured by B if 20% of the polled votes were disqualified? So, this problem is an election problem, guys. So, very simple once you understand what happens in an election. Okay, now let us suppose I and you stand in an election. There are only two candidates. I, myself, and yourself. Only two candidates standing in an election. In that city, there are 100 people. So let us assume that in that city, there are 100 people. There are 100 people. I and you are standing in that phone electoral vote. Okay. Uh, in that constituency or in that city. Okay. Now, during the voting process, what happens is our city dwellers, or what would you call as voters, okay, what they do is they go for polling in a polling station, and out of 100, 10 percentage out of 100, 10 percentage of the people, what they did is they pressed, you've seen that machine, right? For those of you who are above 18 and voted, you will know that if you go to polling station, you will see a machine. In that machine, you will have different symbols. Right now, we have only two symbols, or I would say three symbols. Okay, one is my symbol, and another is your symbol, your party symbol, and one is my party symbol. Third one is none of the above. Okay, or nota, as it is famously called. Okay. Uh, so you have these three things. Now what happens is 10% of those people, they what they do is they press more than one button. They press either 1 and 3, 2, 3, or 2, 1. They press more than one button. And if you press more than one button, what will happen is automatically your vote will get disqualified. I mean, it won't be taken into account. So out of 100, how many people got disqualified? 10 percentage, which is 10, right? So actually 90 votes are the qualified votes. This is what they mean when they say qualified votes, disqualified votes. So out of 100, 90 votes are qualified votes. The remaining 10 votes are disqualified votes. So now what I'll say is, I can say for sure that the number of votes that you get and the number of votes that I get, you add them both, what will be your final number of votes? The number of votes that you get and the number of votes that I get, if you add them both, you will get 90 votes. Yes. So total number of votes will be 90 votes. Okay, so that 90 votes is the total number of qualified votes. It is not the total number of votes. Total number of votes is 100, but the total number of qualified votes is 90. Okay, so your vote, the winner's vote and loser's vote. Okay, in all the election problems, they assume that there are just two people, winner and loser. There is nobody else standing there. There is no second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, and all. There is only you and me in all the election problems. That is what they assume. So don't try to over smart and uh, think too much about it. Okay, so the scenario that I just explained is the scenario that they are referring to whenever they talk about an election problem. Okay, so in an election problem, total number of valid votes will always be equal to winner's votes plus loser's votes, because between me and you, one guy has to win and one guy has to lose. So you are the winner, or I'll take the winners by I mean I am the winner and you might be the loser, right? Or you might be the loser, I might be the winner. Okay. Oh, both mean the same thing. Okay. Anyway, so this thing you have to be aware of. So total number of valid votes, it will always be equal to winners votes plus losers votes. So let us see what is given. Okay, in an election between two candidates A and B, A 1 over B with 10 percentage of the qualified votes. What is the percentage of total votes secured by B if 20 percentage of the poll votes were disqualified? Okay, guys, in percentages always assume things to be 100. If nothing is given, assume it to be 100. Okay, yes, you can solve the problems if you assume it to be 200. You can solve it if you assume it to be 300. Okay, but calculations will be difficult. I'm not saying you shouldn't assume other values. If you assume it to be 100, calculation will become easy. So that is the prime reason why I ask you to assume. Each time I assume 100. Okay, so see, where total number of votes be 100. Okay, now guys, it says, look at the last line of the question. It says if 20 percentage of the poll votes were disqualified. In our example, 10 percentage. In our previous example, it was 90-10. 90 qualified, 10 disqualified. Here 20 percentage disqualified. So how much qualified? 80 percentage, right? And then 80. So out of 100 votes, 80 votes, qualified votes will be 80. Disqualified votes will be 20. Simple, right? Yes. So take it step by step. Okay. Next, what you guys will have to understand is, you have to understand what is the percentage of total votes secured by B. Okay. See, who there are only two people. I told you, right? Who are those two people? A and B. Okay, there are only two people. One is A. This is the person who won. This is the person who lost. So you have to find the number of votes that the person who lost has got. Okay, you have to find how many number of votes the person uh, who lost got. Okay, here that is B. B is the person who lost it. Okay, now here what happens is, let us take it forward. See, from the equation that you see here, A's votes, that is winner's votes, plus loser's votes is equal to how much? Can I say it is equal to 80? Yes, we saw that, right? Will be equal to 80. Okay, in the previous example it was 90, here it is 80. So qualified votes is 80. Now guys, you have to form another equation. Here A means A's votes, B represents B's votes. Okay, A represents A's votes, B represents B's votes. Now, one more thing is A 1 over B with 10 percentage of the qualified votes. So here 10 percentage is important of the qualified votes is important. Guys, if you remember me talking about off, whatever comes close to off is 100 percentage. Yes. So here 10% of the qualified votes. How much is the qualified votes? 80. So this is the 100 percentage. Okay, qualified votes will be the 100 percentage because this comes near off. Okay, whatever comes to the right hand side of not left hand side. Okay, whatever comes to right hand side of is 80, 100 percentage. Okay, so the right hand side of we have qualified votes. So qualified votes is 80. So this is 100 percentage. If 80 is 100 percentage, what is 10 percentage of 80? It is 8. So A 1 over B with 10 percentage of qualified votes is the same as A 1 over B with 8 votes or by 8 votes. So A 1 over B by 8 votes. So what is the difference between A and B's votes? It is 8, right? Yes. So you can see A's votes is 10 percentage of 80 more than B's votes. Correct? 10 percentage of qualified votes. This is qualified votes, right? 10 percentage of 80 more than B's votes. So A's votes is 8 more than B's votes. So A minus B will be equal to 8. Guys, we have two equations. And is it difficult to find B? Not at all, I would say. So B is equal to 36 out of 80. Okay, now you get the value of 36 here, guys. So essentially it is 80. You do 36 plus 44. What do you get, guys? 44 plus 30. So you solve this equation, you will get the answer to be 36. But essentially it is 44 and 36. Okay, now what is 44 plus 36 is 80. So this is A's votes, this is B's votes, right? So this is B's votes, guys. 36. So we got this 36. Okay. Now 36 is out of 80. Now what they are asking is, no, don't just take this 36 percentage. Then your answer will be wrong. It is not 36%. Okay. 30 is it 36%? It is 36 per 80. Okay. It is 36 per 80. You have to find for percent. You have to find the same percentage of votes scored. Look at what they're asking. They are asking percentage of total votes. Okay. So you have to find out of 100. If it is, how do you find, guys? If it is 80 for 36, okay. If it is 80 for 36, then for 100, if the total number of votes is 80, it is 36 votes. Then for percent means for 100 you have to find. Percent is per 100. So for 100, how much? So you just cross multiply, you get the answer, which is 45. The price of rice increases by 30 percentage, then by what percent should its consumption be decreased so that the total expenditure remains the same? So take a moment, read the question. So we are going to apply what we've studied all this while. So make sure that you understand it. Okay. The price of rice increases by 30 percentage. Then by what percentage so should its consumption be decreased so that the total expenditure remains the same? Guys, I am going to give you an example. Let us assume usually 1 kg of rice, okay, costs 50 rupees. Now monthly you get 2 kgs of rice from a shop. Okay, so how much do you pay monthly? 100 rupees. Yes, 50 rupees per kg. You got to get 2 kgs monthly. You do this each month, you get 2 kgs. So each month you pay 100 rupees, or you like allocate 100 rupees for rice. Okay, now what happens is, let us say the price of rice increased from 50 to 75. Now it is no more 50. Okay, it is no more rupees 50. 1 kg of rice is 75. Now for you to get you, but you cannot afford more than 100. You cannot allocate more money than 100 for rice. Now, can you get 2 kgs with 100 rupees? Tell me. Is it possible for you to get 2 kgs with 100 rupees when the price is 75 rupees per kgs? Is it possible? It is impossible, right? It is not possible for the reason 1 kg costs 75, so 2 kgs will cost 150. So obviously you will have to settle for the amount less than 2 kgs, right? So if you have 100 rupees, you have to reduce your consumption. Yes, if you cannot increase 100 to 150, what should you do? You have to reduce your consumption. Okay, instead of getting 2 kgs, you eat that month, you eat only 1.5 kgs of rice. Okay, but you are not, meaning your family eats only 1.5 kgs of rice. So when there is a price rise, okay, what is reduced? Consumption will be decreased. Correct? When the price is increased, consumption will decrease for remain expenditure remaining the same, meaning 100 rupees remains 100 rupees. Okay. If 100 rupees changes, then you don't need to decrease the consumption. If you are able to bring 150 rupees on that month, then you don't need to decrease the consumption, right guys? You can get 2 kgs for 150 rupees. So when the expenditure remains same, this consumption will decrease. To understand this even better, guys, I have this formula. Expenditure is equal to price into consumption, correct? Yes. For the same thing, okay, if it was 50 rupees per kg, okay, this expenditure is 100 rupees, okay. Now you can get how many kgs? 2 kgs of rice. This you can get. But when it is 75 and expenditure remains the same, so 100 remains 100, you cannot make it 150. Okay. Now can you get 2 kgs here? No, right? So it must be obviously less than 2 kgs. Yes, obviously less than 2 kgs. Okay, maybe this is not less. Okay. Okay, everything went away. Okay, anyway, so we'll get it back on track. Okay, so this is 100, this is 100, and this is the price, this is the consumption price is 50, price is 75. So here you are able to get 2 kgs, here less than 2 kgs. Okay, here surely less than 2 kgs. Okay, so you can see as the price increases, guys, what decreases? Consumption decreases for constant expenditure. Okay, now so for constant expenditure, as the price increases, consumption decreases. Okay, this is what they are talking about in the question. Okay, now the price increases by what percentage? The price increases by 30 percentage. That is one data. You have to find by what percentage should the consumption decrease. By what percentage should the consumption decrease? Okay, so I'm writing it as X percentage. Okay, now does this seem familiar? Okay, does this seem familiar? You have two things in product and there is a percentage increase that is applied and percentage decrease that is applied to this product. Does this sound familiar? Yes, yes, exactly. We are dealing with successive percentage change. Okay, but the only thing is here, what is the result of the successive percentage change? Zero. Here, because there is no change. Okay, when there is no change, by applying this 30 percentage increase and the X percentage decrease, the final change is zero because there is no change here, right? Because expenditure remains the same. So this is what you have to apply in the formula. Okay, so in the formula, what I'll do is I'll apply this. Okay, so guys, you can see this is 30 percentage, this is X percentage decrease constant. So apply it in this formula. Okay, so this will give you 30 minus X minus 30X by 100. Okay, so because this is 30 percentage increase, I am taking plus 30, and because it is decrease, I am taking minus X. Okay, this will be equal to, guys, here this is not 23.7 percentage, this should be equal to, okay, so just ignore this. Okay, so I'll go back. This must be equal to what? Zero, right guys? Yes, because this final outcome is zero because this is constant, expenditure remains constant. By applying these 2%, you are not getting any change. There is no minus 1, there is no change there. Okay, so this total formula will give you an answer 0. So if you solve this, you will get the value of X, right? That value of X is 23.07 percentage. Okay, so that value of X is 23.07. In other words, if you 30 percentage increase, there should be a decrease in consumption of 23.07 percentage. If you consume this much percentage less, then you don't need to change the expenditure. Okay, so you see how you are applying successive chain formula in real life examples. Okay, this is a very important question, often gets asked in company questions. Okay, we proceed. A machine worth rupees 1,80,000 depreciates at the rate of 18% of the value of the machine per annum. The value of the machine in 18 months from now will be. Guys, again, all the questions that you're going to see in the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes are picked out very carefully. They are picked out so that you understand every aspect of percentages. You see percentages in totally different ways. Okay, so I picked the questions like that. Okay, so make sure you concentrate on each and every question. See, look at what this says. The first thing you have to understand is the worth of a machine, or the value of the machine right now is 1,80,000. Okay, it depreciates. Depreciate means it is opposite of increasing, which is decreasing. Okay, so depreciates tells you that the machine's value is decreasing. Now, at what rate is it decreasing? It is decreasing at the rate of 18% of the value of the machine per annum. Okay, you take 18% of this. Okay, so in 1 year, it reduces by that amount. Okay, in 1 year, 18% of value of this, it reduces by that amount. Now, the value of the machine in 18 months from now will be what? Okay, they are not asking in 1 year, they are asking for after 1.5 years, what will be the value of the machine. Okay, now there is a common mistake that people do, okay, that I want to point out so that you don't make the same mistake again. Okay, right, you understood the question. 1,80,000, the rate at which it depreciates or decreases, it decreases at the rate of 18% for an year. In 1 year, it will reduce 18%. Okay, in 1.5 years, how much will it reduce, or what will be the price of the machine? What will be the worth of the machine? Okay, what that is what they are asking. Now, 1,80,000 decreases at 18% per 12 months. Guys, right? This is given. Yes. Now, 1,80,000 decrease for 12 months it is 18%. For 6 months it will be 9%. Do you agree with me? Yes. So we need to find for 18 months, right? Yes. So what do we do? For 12 months 18%, 6 months 9%. So for 18 months it is 27%. 12 plus 6 18. 18 plus 9 27. Correct? Yes. So this is what people do, right? But it is wrong. Okay. If you do 27% for 18 months and apply that, you will get the wrong answer. Okay, I will show you why. Okay, because this is correct, this is correct. I don't have an argument against that. Okay, against the first two statements that are marked in red. Okay, I have an argument against the statement that is marked in gold. Okay, my argument is, guys, it goes something like this. See what happens. 1,80,000 multiplied by 100 minus 27 by 100. See what have I done? We need to find for 18 months. Yes, we need to find for 18 months. For 18 months, what should you do? You have to decrease this by 27%. You already know if you have to decrease a number by r percentage, you have to do 100 minus r by 100. So that is what here I am doing, 100 minus r by 100. So this should give you the correct answer, right? Okay, or to say more, to give you an appropriate answer, this and this together both should give you the same answer, correct? If you do it for 12 months and 6 months and then add it, or do it for 18 months, both should give you the same answer, correct? Yes, you apply this 12 months and 6 months separately and then add to get 12 months answer. And this 27% for 18, both should give you the same answer, right? We'll see if that gives the same answer or different answers. Okay. And these are subtle things which people often tend to ignore in percentages. Glad that you watched this video. You will never make this mistake again. 73 by 100, which will give you 1,31,400. Okay. So we'll see if we get the same answer if we do it this way. Apply it for 12 months and 6 months separately and add the result. So first what I am doing is I am multiplying it by 1800 minus 18 by 100 because I am applying this 18 percentage for 12 months, right? For 12 months, so I am doing this 100 minus 18 by 100. So 100 minus 18 by 100. Now this result I am again applying it to 100 minus 9 by 100. Okay, so this is the value after 12 months, right? This is the value after 12 months. Now what do? I multiply that by 100 minus 9 by 100, or what I am doing is I am decreasing 9 percentage for the next 6 months. Okay, now this is the value of 18 months. Okay, this is the value of 18 months. So I've written it everything in a single statement. Okay, so don't get confused there. So 1,80,000 into 82 by 100 is into 91 by 100 will give you 1,34,316. Does this look anything similar to this one? No, guys, no. Okay, see, so this and this are not the same. Okay, you have to do it this way. Okay, I'll tell you what the reason is. Try to understand it. See, in this method, what you're doing is you are first finding 18 percentage for 1,80,000 and then decreasing it, right? You decrease it, 20 percentage of 1,80,000 will be, guys, 18,000, 36,000. Okay, somewhere around 34,000. Okay, that is 18 percentage. Okay, so you will get somewhere around like 1,46,000, something like that. Okay, now this is after 12 months. After 12 months, 1,40,000. I'm giving you approximate answer. This is after 12 months, right? After that, you apply a 9 percentage decrease to this 1,46,000. You are not applying it to 1,80,000. Okay. But here what is happening is this whole 27 percentage you are applying it to this 1,80,000 only. Okay. Now you see the difference why you are getting a different answers, because 27 percentage, all of the 27 percentage is applied to 1,80,000 only. Okay. So that is why you are getting like more decrease. Here only 18 percentage is applied to 1,80,000. The remaining 9 percentage is applied to 1,46,000 or whatever the answer that you got after 12 months. Okay, whatever is the value of the machine after 12 months. Okay, now you see there the decrease is less. Here more decrease, here less decrease. It is because of this way. So there is a difference between this and this, guys. So make sure that you don't do this. Okay, not doing this. This is wrong. Okay, so no doing this. Only do it this way. Okay, this is the correct way of doing it. In a town of 2 lakh citizens, if the population increases at the rate of 4% per annum, then what will be the population of the town 2 years from now? So guys, again it is similar to previous question. At the bottom you can see if population, I have given you a formula, just apply the values in the formula, you get the answer. But what is really happening, you must understand what really is happening. That is what is going to help you solve problems similar to this. And if they tweak the numbers a little bit also, you'll be able to solve it. Okay, you have to understand it concept wise. Okay, now what they're asking is, now let us suppose that in your city, in my city where I reside, we have 2 lakh citizens today. Today is, I don't know what is today's date. Okay, let us assume today's date is August 15th. August 15th, 2019, what I am doing is 2 lakh citizens are there. Now the population increase, there is a rate at which it increases. It increases 4% per annum. 4% of what? 4% of the current population. Okay. So 4% of the current population, or 4% of 2 lakh thousand. What is 4% of 2 lakh thousand? Okay, so I told you how to find it, right? Find 1% and multiply it by 4. What is 1%? 1% is 2000. Correct? The decimal point should come 2 places to the left hand side. Remember, 10% is 20,000. So 1% is 2,000. If 1% is 2,000, what is 4%? 4% is 8,000. So after 1 year, today is August 15, 2019. August 15, 2020. the total number of people will be 2,08,000. This is 4% increase. This is the meaning of 4% increase. Now they are asking what will be the population August 15, 2021, after 2 years from now. Okay, so what should you do? Now will you apply 4% of 2 lakhs or 4% of 2 lakhs 8,000? What will you do? Remember the previous example. You should apply after whatever was the value after 1 year. You shouldn't apply it to the present value. After 1 year, whatever is the value, you have to apply the 4% there. Okay. So that is what we'll be doing. See, 2 lakh citizens increase at 4% per 12 months. After 12 months, population will be 2 lakhs into 104 by 100. Okay, so this is guys, increase some number by 4 by 100, you multiply it by 104 by 100, or you can use the shortcut that I just told you. Okay, for easy numbers you can use the shortcuts, for difficult numbers use this formula. Okay, so to increase a number by 4%, you multiply it by 104 by 100, which will give you what? Okay, now so after 24 months, what happens is you increase it by 104 by 100 into 104 by 100. I told you, right? After 20, this is the population after 12 months. Guys, yes, do you remember the previous example? Very similar. This is the population after 12 months. To this, you increase 4%. You increase this population, which is already increased 4% from today's value, initial value, to this. Okay, so to this value of population, which is after 12 months, you apply the increase of 4% again. Okay, so don't do it for 4%. So now this will be 24 months. Okay, this will be 24 months. So I'm writing everything in a same line. Okay, very similar to the previous problem. So you will get 2,16,320 as your answer. Make sure you note this formula, guys. This will help you do the problem very easily. A store has a banner of 25% off on MRP of all branded items. Sheetal goes into the store and buys a belt worth rupees 75, a shirt rupees 1999, and a shawl of rupees 2900. How much amount will she have to pay? Now, OFF of, what does this 25% off mean? You would have seen this in many hoardings of stores, right? What have you seen hoardings, billboards? People call it billboards. By hoardings, guys, when you go in a car or a bus or whatever, you'll see hoardings on the sides of the roads, right? It'll be written discount, off, sale. Usually it'll be clothing lines. But anyway, here when they say 25% off, they say it is discount. Whenever it is 25% discount, it is equal to 25% decrease. So this one thing keep in mind, discount is equal to decrease. Okay, in profit and loss you will understand this even better, but here it is like I'm giving you a small taste of what you will be seeing in profit and loss. Discount and decrease are the same things. So if they say 25% discount, what do? You do 25% decrease. Both are the same thing. Okay. So discount and decrease are the same things, and profit and increase will be the same thing. So we look at that and profit and loss topic. Right now you just have to understand discount and decrease are the same thing. So 25% discount means 25% off means it is 25% discount. 25% discount means it is 25% decrease. So what you do is add all these values, and this is not the value that she is going to pay. Okay, belt, the price of a belt is 75, the shirt's price is 1999, shawl's price is this. Okay, I've written shall. Okay, it is shawl. These are the funny things that happen. Okay, the total price is 4,974. Guys, you add all this, you will get 4,974. Okay, you add all this, you will get 4,974. But is this what she's going to pay? No, right? You have to she's going to get a discount of 25 percentage. What does it mean? She is going to decrease this by 25 percentage. That is the meaning of discount. She is going to decrease this by 25 percentage. Okay, so if you have a look, with 25 percentage off, 4974 will be reduced by 25 percentage. So reducing total price by 25 percentage, we get selling price 4974 into 75 by 100. If you have to reduce a number by 25, you have to multiply it by what, guys? 100 minus 25 by 100. Yes. So what is 100 minus 25 by 100? It is 75 by 100. And there you go. There you have your answer. 3730.5. Successive discounts of 6 percentage, 10 percentage, 15 percentage are equal to a single discount of what? Guys, I've told you discount means decrease. Yes, previous slide, remember? So, the one thing, the first, just these two words tell you what to do in this problem. Successive. Take out the successive formula. Okay. Discount. Do decrease. Okay. So, for decrease, what do you do? See, usually during successive discounts, we have only two values, right? Here, there is a decrease of how many values? Three values. So, you take a price, or if you take an amount, decrease it by 6 percentage, again decrease it by 10 percentage, and again decrease it by 15 percentage. Okay, you cannot say the answer is 6 plus 10 plus 15, 25, 31. The answer is 31 percentage. No, we just saw what the reason is. See, 18 plus 9 is different. 18 plus 9, 27 is different, right? So decreasing it by 6, 10 and 15 are different, and decreasing the whole thing by 31, the sum of 6 plus 10 plus 15, decreasing it by 31 is different. So you cannot use that approach. Okay, so the actual result will not be 31. To find the answer, guys, usually we take two numbers. Okay, here we will take 6 and 10 or 10 and 15 or something like that. But here we have 3. How do we do 3? Apply the successive formula with just two numbers, with 6 and 10. Okay, and see what do you get. Okay, and what it will be minus 6 because it is a decrease. Again, it will be minus 10 because it is decrease. Minus into minus, it will be plus. Finally, you get minus 15.4. Now, what you do is take this 15.4 and apply it with this 15 percentage. So apply with 15.4 and 15. So you can do it only two. We don't have a formula for three things, right? So we do it 2 percentages at a time. So minus 15.4 minus 15, you get plus 231. See, it is not 31 percentage, guys. It is minus 28.09 percentage. Yes, the reason is the same reason that I gave you for 18.9. How 18 percentage, increasing it by 18 percentage and 9 percentage is, decreasing it by 18 percentage and 9 percentage is totally different from decreasing it by 27 percentage, which is the sum of 18 and 9. So here it is 28.09 percentage. When the price of a pair of shoes is decreased by 10 percentage, the number of pairs sold increased by 20 percentage. What is the net effect on sales? Guys, I want you to pause the video right now because this is a problem type that we've already done. Okay, we've seen 6 problems, right? So one out of these problems we already done. So you just have to read it, think about how we solved the previous problems, try it, come up with an answer, then start the video and try verifying your answer. Okay, so pause the video now. So if you got the answer, we'll see what the answer is. The price of pair of shoes is decreased by 10%, the number of pairs are sold. So now again you see the same thing, guys. Sales is equal to price per pair into number of pairs sold. Okay, so does this sound familiar? Yes, it sounds like expenditure is equal to price into consumption. Yes, so you the same problem. You apply the same thing. So what happens is the pair of shoes is decreased by 10%. Number of pairs sold is increased by 10%. The price of pair of shoes. Okay, so this is decreased. this is increased. Okay, so see, it is decreased by 10 percentage, this is increased by 20%. What will be the net effect? What will be the net effect? So apply successive formulas, change here. Whatever is your answer is your final answer here. Okay, so I'm going to apply. So because there's 10 percentage decrease of minus 10, guys. Number, because there is a 20 percentage increase, 10 percentage decrease minus 10, 20 percentage increase, so plus 10. And you apply the formula, you'll get 8 percentage. Now the positive sign indicates what? There is a 8 percentage increase. Okay, there is an 8 percentage increase. Totally there will be 8 percentage increase. Okay, this is 8 percentage increase. Okay, not decrease. The positive sign. Had it been a negative sign, okay, or if you've seen a negative, if you got a negative sign here, then it is 8 percentage decrease, but it is positive. Again, an election problem. In an election, the winning candidate won by 15 percentage votes. If a total of 5,000 votes were cast, of which only 86 percentage were eligible, then how many votes did the winning candidate get? So you guys very well know, in election problems there are only two stakeholders, at least according to our problems. Okay, it is only two, a winner and the loser. Okay, only they have stakes in the election. Okay, others don't have any part in the election, they don't have any part. Okay, so in an election the winning candidates won by 15 percentage votes. Now you have to understand this well. Okay, in an election the winning candidate won by 15 percentage votes. What does it mean? Okay, first I want you guys to understand that. Okay, let us assume totally there are 100 votes. Okay, totally there are 100 votes, guys. Now you are the winner. Okay, you are the winner, you get 60 votes. Okay, you are the winner, you get 60 votes. I lost the election, I got 40 votes. So for now let us assume that we don't have any or if you want we'll assume the total votes to be 10. Okay, out of this 10 were disqualified. Okay, out of this 10 were disqualified. So what are the total number of votes? It is 100, right? Yes, out of this 100, guys, you the winner got 60, I the loser got 40. Now I can say the winner won by 20 percentage votes. Okay, now what did I say? The winner won by 20 percentage votes. Okay, just a minute. Now it is not 20%. The winner won by 50 percentage votes. Yes, the winner won by 50 percentage votes. I'll tell you the reason, guys. See, the winner won by 50 percentage. Here, what does it say? The winning candidate won by 15 percentage votes. If you have to understand this, you have to understand why I say the winner won by 50 percentage votes. Okay, the winner won by 50 percentage votes. The reason is he won by 50 percentage votes because now the winner won by how many votes, guys? The winner won by 20 votes. Okay, now you have to look at this 20 votes is what percentage of 40. Okay, this 20 votes, the difference is the winner won by 20 votes, right? So he won by, you could say the winner won by 20 votes, or you could say the winner won by 20 by 40 into 100 percentage votes. Okay, so 20 is what percentage of 40? 20 is 50 percentage of 40, right? 20 is half of 40. What is half in percentage? Half is 50 percentage. So the winner won by 50 percentage of votes. Okay, so this 20, you should look at it in terms of how many votes the loser got. Okay, or I got. Okay, I got 40 votes. So you have to look at it like this. Okay, had I got like this, let's say I got 70, you got 70, I got 30. So the winner gets 70, the loser gets 30. Now what percentage the one winner won by what percent votes? The winner won by, guys, difference is 40. The winner won by 40 by 30 into 100. Okay, this is the percentage of votes that the winner won by 40 by 30 into 100. Why did you do 40 by 30? The difference is 40. We always have to find percentage for the loser's number of votes, right? Here, that is what you did. Here, how did you get 50 percentage, guys? You took the difference, which is 20, okay, and then divided it by 40, yes, into 100. So 20 by 40 is 1 by 2. Okay, so 1 by 2 into 100 will give you 50 percentage. Okay, so similarly 40 by 30 into 100, whatever the answer is, I don't care about the answer, but 4 by third of 100 I would say is 133.33 percentage. Okay, the answer is not the important thing, but what is important is you understanding what this 15 percentage means. Okay, now I hope you understood what 15 percentage means. Now this is 40, 60. Now can you guys tell me what is the increase percentage? This is the number of votes I got. This is the number of votes you got. What is the increase percentage? Is 40 to 60 increase or decrease? It is increase, right? What is the increase percentage? It is 50 percentage. It is the percentage that we got. Okay, so this number is nothing but the increase percentage from losers votes to winners votes. Do you understand? This 15 percentage is the increase percentage from losers votes to winners votes. Okay, so this is what how do you find the increase percentage, guys? Get the difference 20 base. Hey, when you're finding the increase percentage, base will be this number. Okay, base will be the number which is getting increased. So 40, yes, into 100, you're getting the same answer, 50 percentage, right? Yes, so the increase percentage is this percentage. Okay, so these are all different ways of looking at it. Okay, so that you understand what 15 percentage means. Okay, 15 percentage is the increase percentage of losers votes to winners votes. Okay, because from losers votes to winners votes there will be an increase. Okay, wherever there is an increase there will be a increase percentage. Wherever there is a decrease, there will be a decrease percentage. So from 60 to 40, there will be a decrease percentage. Okay, and it will definitely not be 50 percentage. Okay, it will be 33.33 percentage. We'll talk about that later. Okay, but right now, guys, you just have to understand this 15 percentage is the increase percentage from losers votes to winners votes. Okay, then we know the usual thing, total number of valid votes will be equal to winners votes plus losers votes. Here, guys, they've given you the value. You don't need to assume 100. Okay, they've given you 5,000 as the total number of votes. So you can apply that 5,000 itself. If that number is complicated, instead of 5,000, had they given you 8,439. Okay, what you do is assume the value to be 100, get the final answer, then you find it for 8,439. Okay, because use 100. Here it is 5,000, everything it ends with 30, so it is better we use 5,000. Okay, and not use 100. Okay, it is better we use 5,000. Because if it ends, something ends in 0, it is easy to do calculations. That is the reason. Now, out of 56,000, 86 were are eligible. So out of 5,000, 86% was eligible. So what is the eligible number of votes, guys? 90 percentage. So 86 percentage can be written as 90 minus 4 percentage, which is 4,300. Now winners votes will be 15 percentage of losers votes. Now what did I tell you? This 15 percentage means if you increase losers vote by 15 percentage, you get what? Winners votes. Yes, this is 40, guys. You increase this by 50 percentage, you got 60, right? How do you increase it by 50 percent? 150 by 100. Here it is 15 percentage, so 115 by 100. Okay, so you are increasing the losers vote by the percentage that is being mentioned here. So that is the reason. Okay, now you understand why I have written this. Is winners vote will be equal to nothing but losers votes increased 15 percentage. You increase 40 by 50 percentage, you will get the winner's votes. So similarly, you increase losers vote by 15 percentage here, because here it is percentage 15, which is 115 by 100, you will get winner's votes. So winners votes plus losers votes is equal to 4,300. You know this, guys. 4,300 is the total number of qualified valid votes. Okay. So winners vote, this you know. Okay. Now winners votes plus 20 by 23 of winners votes. So losers votes, this thing will be equal to, just bring it this side. If you bring it this side, 23 by 20 will become 20 by 23. Okay. So I'm just trying to substitute losers votes values. Okay. So you'll get it like this, and that will be 4,300, and the winner's vote will be 2,300, and the answer is 2,300. That's what they are looking for. If you look at this, the loser would have got 2,000. Okay, correct? Because total number of votes is 4,300. The loser would have got 2,000. The winner gets 2,300. Correct, guys? Now you tell me, what is the percentage increase? Exactly. If you told 15 percentage, you are bang on. If you don't know how this 15 percentage come about, I'd suggest you to kindly re-watch the video. Total income of 2003, 2004, 2005 is 36,400. Every year salary increases by 20 percentage. What was the salary in 2003? Very easy problem, guys. See, they say there is an income that he was getting in 2003. In 2004, what happened is it increased by 20 percentage. In 2005, what happened is again it increased by 20 percentage. Okay. Finally, if you add 2003, 2004 and 2005, you get the total income comes to be 36,400. They are asking you what was the income he was getting in 2003. Okay. So what you can see here is income of 2003 plus income of 2004 plus income of 2005 is 36,400. This is given in the question. But what you can also refer or infer from the question is, every year the salary increases 20 percentage. Let us suppose that we have to find this income of 2003, so keep it as x. Okay, so because the salary increases 20 percentage every year, if income of 2000 is INC, okay, we are not keeping it as x, we are keeping it as INC. Okay, so this is the income of 2003. Okay, now in 2004, what will be the income? You increase it by 20 percentage. How do you increase it by 20 percentage? Multiply it by 120 by 100. Okay, so in 2004, this will be the income. What will be the income in 2005? It will be 20 percentage increment of this number. Okay, so that is why I written it like this. Okay, so this guys is 2003 income. Increase it by 20 percentage, you get 2004 income. Increase it by 20 percentage, you get 2005 income. Okay, so this whole thing is 2005 income. What we want is this. Okay, now what you do is, substitute this. Okay, this is 2003 income, this is 2004 income, this is 2005 income, and then add it, you will get this value to be 10,000. A team won 80% of the games it played. It played 5 more games, of which it won 3 and lost 2. Its loss percentage changed 25%. How many games did it play overall? So here it says we don't know how much games the team has played, guys. We don't know what is the number of games. That is what we are going to find. Okay, but what they say is initially the winning percentage was 80%. If the winning percentage was 80%, what would be the losing percentage? The winning percentage was 80, right? So what will be the losing percentage? It will be 20, right? Now what happens is they play 5 more games. Okay, they play 5 more games, out of which they win 3 and lose 2. Okay, they win 5 more games, they play 5 more games and do. After this happens, the winning percentage becomes 75 and losing percentage becomes 25. So these are the data that is given. Okay. So from this you can clearly see, guys, 8 by 20 is 4 by 1. Yes, the win to loss ratio. Okay, initially it was 4 by 1. After this 5 games, it became what? 3 by 1. Okay, so these are the two important ratios that we are worried about. Okay, initially the win to lose ratio is 4 by 1. Okay, but after this 5 games are played, the win to loss ratio is 3 by 1. Okay, so just remember that. So before, win to lose ratio was 4 by 1. After, win to lose ratio was 3 by 1. Just keep it in mind, guys. Now, initially, there would be certain games that they would have won, right? This is before the 5 games, okay? By games lost. What is this? This is what they say 80% by 20%, which I told you is 80 by 100 by 20 by 100, which is 4 by 1. So this is what I told you, right? Now, this is initial. Now, what happens is, guys, yes, this is because of the reason that 20% of the games they lost, 80% they won, okay? Now, games won is equal to 4 times games lost. Can we arrive at this conclusion? Yes, just concentrate on this. Games won and games lost is equal to 4 by 1. Okay. Now what will happen is this games lost will go there, right? Yes. If this goes there, games won will be equal to 4 times games lost. So that is the equation that I formed here. Okay. You understood how this equation came about. Games won is equal to 4 times the games lost. Okay. That is the meaning, right? 20%, 80%. This is the meaning. Okay. Now, what happens is, now this is where that 5 games come into play. Out of this 5, how many games are won? 3 games are won. So, games won has increased by 3. Okay. Games lost has increased by 2. Now, what is the ratio of games won by games lost? It was 3 by 1. Do you remember? Yes, because now the percentage is 25%. Okay, so here it will be 75% of the games will be won, 25% of the games will be lost. So it means 3:1 is the ratio. Now this equation is what we are interested in. Okay, because what we are going to do is we are going to substitute this here. Okay, if this 4 comes to the bottom, what will happen, guys? Games lost will be equal to games won by 4. So instead of games lost, we are going to write it as games won by 4. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. Okay, so if you do that, it will be like this: games won by 4 plus 2. Okay, so I'm just rewriting games lost using this equation. Okay, now if you, this is equal to 3 by 1. If you solve this, you will get games won to be 12. Games won, this games won to be 12, games lost will be 3. So initially they had played 15 and new games played is 5. So total overall games is 20. So 20 is the answers. And so that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.